We are live at 11:05. So here we are. It may be 11:04. It's actually a little bit early, and we almost forgot about you today. So we rush, put some stuff together. I'm BC. This is Spirit Cars. We are a company that builds. There's Josh. He's ahead of the game. He's right on it. So Josh, the voice of Spirit Cars, behind the camera there. And we've been talking a little bit about fiberglass, and somebody asked about a C-cab earlier this week, so we were working on one, so I figured we'd talk on that. We've moved it ahead a little bit. It's been a rush day, so I prepared to do this about 3 minutes ago, and so we pushed a few things in line here, and so we're going to talk about the C-cab a little bit more. If you watched 2 days ago, we just showed, here's the body, and we talked about how flimsy it was without an insert in there, like a box with open ends. So what we've done so far, and you can see over here, we got another C-cab going. So here's the C-cab in the mold. I don't know how good you can get over here. We don't have good reception back here, but there's one in the mold. It's got to be taken out of the mold. We still got to put the floor in it. This is actually an insert for it on the mold. So there's one built. Different part seats and that, but so we went ahead. We got the floor in this. We've got the trans tunnel already in it. If you go around that side, maybe you can see what's going on. Now this insert has been bonded in. We've got wood here, and we've got a bonding material. Do we sell that bonding material?
I'm not supposed to ship it.
We're not supposed to? Man, that's too bad. So call Josh. We don't sell that bonding material, but it's great stuff. We could be able to figure out how to get it to you somehow if you need it. It's kind of like a Bondo. It mixes up. You got to have it. You can see the difference. This is like probably a Duraglass or something, or maybe it changes that color. I don't know what they used under here, but this is the bonding material we use. You mix it up, and you have about 15 minutes to work with it. It mixes up with a polyester, it's a polyester base, but it's a methyl ethyl ketone peroxide activator, just like fiberglass would be. And it gives you, like I said, 15 minutes of work time. So, and it sticks really well. It comes out of the boating industry. It's like we're putting transoms and stuff in. So we've got wood bonded behind here, and wood bonded up here, and we've bonded the insert into it. You can see we've kind of screwed it to the floor, but the screws are just there temporary to get it down tight. We'll pull them screws out. It's bonded up here. It takes a lot of, there is no, I can push and pry and maybe get a 1/4, 3/8 of an inch if I really put some effort into it. Why don't you go into the back here. We don't have it in yet, but what will go back here, there'll be a piece of wood that fits into this area. It'll get bonded in, and then we'll fiberglass over the wood just like you see the floor. So you'll have a cross section here. So this will be fully secured, and it takes a lot of the play out of the car. The back doors, like I said before, it gets a hinge, an external hinge on it. So we'll bond some oak into the inside here, and we'll bond some oak inside here, and that way it's got structure and strength in there. And while I was talking about this, I figured we've got a 23 going. It'll give you a little better idea how the hinges fit. Now this is external hinges, and okay, here's a couple tricks. Do we offer the body where you put your own door on? We do offer it that way.
Yeah, we can.
So if you got our body, which here's, I don't know, these are both bodies without doors. Here's one with a door. It comes with a jamb. This insert's not put into it yet. Here's the door parts. There's an inner and outer door. So you come like that. So say you got the kit without the door, and it takes a little bit. You got to put the insert in. We put this insert in much the same way we did on the other one, on the C-cab I just showed you. We did a little body work around the top of it on the seam. So we've got the seam nice. It's all slick here. Cleaned up this area. So we cleaned up where the hinges go on the door. Now, what this is a little spacer. If we take and leave it, if you shoot straight down, that leaves the two ends of the hinges parallel. Otherwise, you'd have the one all the way back. So we just got it like that to Well, you can see on this one. See how it goes all the way back without that piece in there. So we want to keep them parallel. We have a router that we go ahead and clean up that gap with a little bit better. Get our hinges fit. We actually have a jig to do it, but you can do it if you pull these pins out of here and take a 1/4 inch rod and stick it through both of the pins. It's very important that these two pins are aligned with each other. If they're not, the door is going to bind. Also, you can see the bottom hinge is out a little bit farther than the top hinge. What will happen if we put it, if you look at the side of the body angles in a little bit. And if you look from the front here, what I've got is as close to 90 as I can get to the floor. That way when your door opens, your door doesn't swing down. Because if I'd have put the hinge all the way up in here, you'd open that door and that door would swing down into the ground. And it would want to just plain swing open. Sometimes on some of the other cars, the 34s and the Model A, I can't think offhand which is the worst, but you've got to kind of compromise a little bit, and the doors do swing down a little bit because you don't want your bottom hinge sticking out way out here just to compensate, you know, with your top one being enclosed. But something to be aware of, these have got to be parallel, lined up with each other. You can do that with a 1/4 inch rod. These will push out of here. Go ahead, router it, get it all fit, and get your hinges fitting first. On the 23, the door itself is going to be the skin with the jamb on it. On the 27, you've got an inner door with the jamb on it, and you've got to glue the outer skin onto it. We take and we put a piece of oak, bed it into here, so when we slot it here for the hinges, it screws into the oak. Once it's already on, and you can see that on the side, the door's already been put on. Swings nice. What we'll do is we'll take, and we use a bear claw latch. We'll fit the bear claw latch in here, put the striker in, have it latched, make sure it's lined up. We can actually twist this a little bit. You can kind of see, I mean, it's not a lot, but make sure that it lines up on the car through the whole jamb. And what you can do, you can fit it once you get that on there, and then we put wood all the way around the rest of it. Once that wood's in and it sets, it holds the door, takes any twist out of it. You can kind of see from this side it fits pretty good. It may need to go in just a touch on the bottom. Then at that point we're going to have a latch that's got, just pull it up and it'll undo the bear claw. We weld a 1/4 inch bolt into the hole on it and it comes through. Works really well. Since you're going to have wood around the whole outside of it, take a flat panel, bond it onto there, and ta-da, it's all done. So that's kind of how you do that. And since this morning I was cutting glass also, not just, I wasn't chopping glass, but this is the car getting ready to go out. So I figured I'd just line up a bunch of things and show you what this is happening. This is like stuff we're doing right now and got to get out. So this is the car going. It's a 3031 Model A.
Hold on one second. Somebody's yelling.
We got people yelling.
There must be somebody here. He must have went out.
Hello, hello, hello. So anyway, 3031 Model A, regular doors. We've done a couple of suicide doors. This is that latch. The way we do that latch, the way I was telling you, we just weld the bolt, and then you can cut that down to where you want. You can see, push it down. How simple is that? Also on our 3031, underneath here, this is our door handle. Can you see that in your picture there? Yeah. That's all it takes to open it. Hides well. You can also put a door popper down there, so if you want automatic doors, we do an outside door handle. Really like this inside. It's very clean. Cut it down, put just a little knob on it, and there you go. Alright, so here's a tip. If you get one of our 3031s, 2829s, 32s, 34s, any of the big cars that have got power windows, it comes with the power windows already installed. Now it's going to be a little hard for me to show you the inner workings of this, but what it is power window, and we just stick this wire out here so it's got easy access. This wire is for your power windows. It's going to go through the door jamb, and however you want to do it, put the pins that make contact or whatever. But I leave them out here for installing the window to make it work. And I just take one of my batteries off one of the drills or whatever's laying around with the power tools, and I can just, oh, it's already down, move it up, and you can see how it moved into right here. Okay, I'm coming into here. See them two screws? You see them go past there?
Yep.
Okay, so line it up to where those are. When you loosen these, what it is, there's a rubber with a grip on it, and the screw just tightens that grip together. Now, in the Model A, unlike the 32 and the 34, the window drops in. It's a rectangle window. It drops in from the top. These are the felts. We use an aluminum channel when we build a car. These felts go in, and I highly recommend that you do not glue these felts in until after the car is painted. You can get a really clean job, and then when you go to glue them in, just put some glue down it, and I've got like a little 1/8 piece of, the same thing we use for our grill shells, just 1/2 inch by 1/8, and I just run it down in the groove here, so that way I can push it all the way down into the groove as it goes down. So I put these down in here, like so. They'll be all the way down there. I just cut this glass, actually minutes before we went on air here.
Just don't drop it.
No, don't drop it. But I have not sanded the edges, so I still need to sand the edges. But I got it just so I could show you how it's going to just drop into here. It'll slide down. So it slides down. And what it's going to do, it's going to slide in to these rubber pieces. Make sure that you got them in between the two. You're going to have to loosen these up, open it up so you got a good grip. Slide it down into that. You can tighten these down. Probably the only millimeter on the entire car, because we are American made. These are China brand. It's a 10 millimeter nut, which, okay. Tighten that nut down. Your window's secured. Run it up and down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, whatever. Make sure everything's lining up good. You're happy. There's a screw on there that holds that in place. I don't know why they do it for shipping, maybe, but you take that out, and then there's like a glide on the glider itself for the track that pushes the window up and down. So it will move a little bit side to side, but in and out, it's got to be right, because otherwise it'll put a bind on it, and you wind up cracking your window right in the middle. So anyway, if you happen to be installing glass, that's kind of how you do it in a Model A. It's a little different in the 32s and 34s. Once the glass is in, there's a door top that goes on, goes over the top of that, screws down. Got a finished piece up under here. You put the channel in there, it paints, it goes on. There you go, pretty simple process. I'm not sure if I've given you the tip of the day, but this is one that I will not forget again. A sharp tool. It's a way to go. I could use what's a biblical quote, like sharpening your axe. You get a whole lot more work done with a sharp axe than you do a dull one. I'm not the greatest guy at cutting glass, but I'm competent at it. And on these this is a nice little glass cutting tool, and it's got a wheel on here, and it's got, you start with one, and you can keep changing it because it gets dull. Well, I've been using this one on 6 for a while, and I've been using it on 6 for a while, long enough. It goes 1 to 6, long enough to go, I should be changing that. I should be changing it. And the sound is getting a little different, and I kind of forgot what a good, hard, clean cut looked like and what it sounded like. And I actually broke my first piece of glass in I don't know how long because I did not have a sharp tool. So, tip of the day, sharpen your axe. Make sure it's, sometimes it's a whole lot less work. You spend a little time preparing for what you're going to do. So that's my tip of the day, and I won't forget that one again. I'm gonna change those whenever I think it needs it, even if it don't. So we're gonna do. Which one are we gonna? Coffee break?
No, we'll pass it on because you're in.
Okay, we're still in pass it on. So pass this one on. This will be a good one. I don't know what it's gonna be. So tell somebody this one today. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what Ernie, the hot rod man, buddy of mine, wrote these books. Okay. An old dog is still a puppy on the inside, especially when his owner comes home. When you figure that one out, pass it on. You got to think about
Read
it.
it one
though.
more time for him.
An old dog is still a puppy on the inside, especially when his owner comes home. Okay. That's it for today. The weekend is here. Time to go. It's car showing. The boys here getting ready. They're meeting tomorrow, going to a car show. I'm sure there's car shows all over the country. We need to get the date for the one in Flippin here. It's Fall Fling is what it's called. We're going to put that up. We're going to promote it. We're going to do this year, again, we're going to do a spirit open house, I guess we'll call it. It'll be at the shop facility here. It'll be on a Friday, and then the car show's on Saturday. We'll just have hot dogs and whatever, and just open house and have everybody, all the guys will be here, and we'll just talk about hot rod stuff. Anyway, have a good weekend.